I punched him in the... Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a story time about my embarrassing tattoo experience. That tattoo that I got is not embarrassing itself. It was just my experience getting the tattoo and going to the tattoo shop and just everything. So let me start from the beginning. I just remembered this the other day too. I can't believe I haven't done a story time on it yet. Because this was by far like, it was just awkward. Do I have lipstick on my teeth? Oh, I got on my chin. So let me just start from the beginning. So back around 4th of July weekend, probably like 2 weeks before, my cousins, who I'm very close to, like we're all best friends pretty much, were like, you should go to the beach with us, or there's enough room, like you should go with us. And I got coverage and it was a go. I was good to go. Which, by the way, getting there was like the first time I ever driven more than an hour. Like it was a 3-hour drive for me and it was nerve-wracking alone, just the drive, beside the point. I was like, yes, I'll go. We're good to go. So we were supposed to go the day after 4th of July. They were going to drive down and then I was going to drive my own car down later in the day after I got paid from work. So I ended up not leaving till like 5 or 6 p.m. and I didn't get down there till like 8 or 9 p.m. which at that point it was like my 2 little cousins were getting ready to go to bed already, so kind of lost a night at the beach already, but it was cool. We still had a good time. My cousin and I, before we went down, we were like, oh, it would be so crazy like if we got matching tattoos, which we did. We did, which I don't regret one bit. That wasn't the awkward part. I love my tattoo. So my cousin was like, oh my god, we should get tattoos. I don't know, I probably said that. I don't remember who said it. One of us did and the other agreed to it because we're like this. So me and this said cousin, Taylor, who I love with all my heart, she is my girl, our first like time actually hanging out and like just bonding like and getting super close, we went to a Demi Lovato concert and we just had the time of our lives. Like it was the best time ever. We'll never forget it. It was so fun. It was my first like real concert going to, and I was 18 at the time, I think. Wait, was I 17? I was like 17 or 18 or something like that, and it was so fun. And so from there on we both just loved everything about Demi Lovato. We wanted like all of her music. We listened to it constantly still. We both watched her documentary like a million times after that. So we were trying to figure out what to get. And we kept finding stuff on Pinterest and everyone's like, no, don't get anything on Pinterest. Like do something your own personal. And everything we both thought of, like the other was like, yeah. So we just kept thinking and I was like, what about something that has to do with one of Demi Lovato's tattoos? Because I mean, you can always copy a tattoo, but obviously not going to get like Demi Lovato tattooed on us. So we kept thinking about it and we agreed to do the birds. So Demi Lovato, if you've never seen her tattoo, she has birds going all the way up her hand, which I didn't want, but my cousin Taylor did want. So I got 3 birds and my cousin got 6 or 7 or 8, I don't know, something like that, but I only got 3 because I didn't want a whole bunch on my arm. I only wanted a few. But it's real simple, and a lot of people actually had this tattoo that we didn't even realize till after we got it. We were like, oh wow, we really copied like a lot of people with this, which is okay, it's fine, it's not a big deal. So mind you, we're in Ocean City, Maryland, and oh my god, I'm just like, this video is all over the place. Like I can't stay on track with one topic. When I tell a story, it goes in like a million different directions versus a normal person telling a story getting right to the point. So let me do this. We were like, yeah, so we're definitely gonna do these tattoos. We'll call around in the morning, which by the way, that was a Friday night that we said that. So Saturday morning we started calling all these places and we had like little to no hope with anyone because we were like, it's Saturday, this is Ocean City, Maryland, like no one's gonna have availability, no one's gonna be open, everyone's gonna be booked, or they're only gonna take appointments or whatever. We're like, it's not gonna work. So us being stupid, we found 2 tattoo shops on the boardwalk. And so we went down to one. And they had availability, but it was like later in the day. And we were like, okay, like we'll come back. We'll see. We're going to talk about it first. Forgot to mention, this said tattoo shop was very sketchy and kind of hidden. Like you had to walk down a hallway off the boardwalk. Like it was really sketchy and we didn't really trust it. So that's why we didn't really settle for a later time. And then we went down the boardwalk to the second one, and they proceeded to tell us like, oh, it's illegal to do tattoos on the boardwalk. We don't actually do it. We're just the piercing shop. Our tattoo shop is outside the beach. So we're like, are you sure? Because there's like a tattoo shop down there. They do tattoos on the boardwalk. We didn't get into it because we weren't trying to rat anybody out, but you know, here I am ratting them out. We were like, okay. So we took their business card and we went up back to our room. We're like, we're probably gonna have to wait till we get home. We can't get tattoos. Like, what are the odds they're gonna have availability? So we looked them up and they didn't open till like, I guess like 30 minutes later. So we like set alarms. We set alarms for whatever it was, like 12 or 1 p.m. to call this place and ask for availability. So we call them and we're like, hey, do you have availability for 2 people for tattoos today? And they said something along the lines of appointments and walk-ins. They said something weird and we were like, oh, they only take appointments today. And they're like, no, like we only take walk-ins today. So it's first come, first serve. And we're like, sick. So this place was probably 5 miles from where we were, but it said on our maps it was like a half hour away. And we were like, how? If it's only 5 miles, that's not a half hour. We went, it was a half hour. It was because there were so many traffic lights, but that's beside the point. We get there and they're already working on like 3 people at this point. So we're waiting, and we waited because we were like, we are determined to get tattoos right now. Like we're determined to get matching tattoos. We're going to do it. So we walk in, tell them what we want. They're like, we want birds. We want to be like Demi Lovato. She wants this many. I want this many. That's that. So I only paid like $60 for mine. I wish I could remember the name of this tattoo shop. They were so nice, so good. Like everyone there, they were so easy. They were like, you know, nothing to be nervous about. We weren't nervous. We were excited, but was coming off as nervous because we were both like jittery and happy. But I have a sunflower tattoo. She has a rose on her arm. So we've had tattoos before. We're sitting there and like 30 minutes into sitting, we start looking at like all the pictures on the walls and like all the tattoo and the art, or all the tattoos and the art that they've done. And some of it was interesting. Some of it was a little bit satanic. But there was one that we were like, oh my God, this reminds us of our other aunt that wasn't with us at the time. I went to take a picture of it to send it to my aunt and be like, oh my God, this is so you. But as soon as I got my camera out, my phone out, they were like, you cannot take pictures in our shop. No pictures of our art allowed. You cannot take pictures of our art. And I was like, I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. That was not the embarrassing part. It gets worse. So they finally take us to do our tattoos. They were really nice. They just we weren't allowed to take pictures in their shop, which I'm realizing is very common for tattoo artists and piercing shops and stuff. They don't like having pictures or anything taken in their shops. Otherwise, I would have vlogged this because it was fun. It was a lot of fun. They did the stencil on my arm. They did the stencil on her arm. We were both getting it done at the exact same time by 2 different artists. And we were laying on our stomachs and facing each other so like we could talk or whatever. So I'm laying like this and my arm was out like this. So like I'm laying on their little bed thing and leaning on this hand. So I'm looking at my like this, just staring at my cousin like, what's up, boo, love you. I could hear my tattoo artist talking and I didn't pay any mind to it. Didn't have, whatever, you know, who cares. And then I went to readjust because I could feel something pulling in my arm. So I went like that. I lifted my head and moved my arm. I punched this man In the pee-pee. I punched him in the, you know, I punched him in the male genitalia. The owner was standing on the other side of me and I didn't see him because obviously I was looking straight. I didn't see him out of my peripheral vision. Like even doing this, I can only see it in my viewfinder. I can't see it. I cannot see someone standing right there. I cannot. I punched this man in the pee-pee. I punched him in the pee-pee. I punched him in the pee-pee. And I was trying to ignore the situation. I was like, I didn't say sorry, none of that, because I was trying to act like I didn't do it, even though I did it. I was like, you know, just don't say anything. Make it. I thought maybe saying something would make the situation worse, so I just didn't say anything at all. But this man, like I said, is the owner, and this man said to me, he was like, why don't you buy me a beer first? And I was like, mind you, this artist dude was only outlining like the second bird, so he still had to outline the third and had to fill them all in. So I was still laying there for another 30 minutes in this awkwardness. I still can't believe I did that. And it was embarrassing because I had to lay there in the awkwardness for another 30 minutes. So, a note to everyone out there, if you're ever getting a tattoo where you have to lay on your stomach, do not lay on your hand, because if you have to move it, odds are you're gonna punch someone in the wee-wee, and it's not gonna be fun for anybody. At least my tattoo is cute, like I love it and all, but you know when it like your skin like flakes off and stuff? You know when your skin like flakes off and stuff after a tattoo? It did that, and now it's like, you can see that. You can definitely see that. And yes, I know my arms are white. It like flaked off, and like you can see my actual skin tone right there, which I'm gonna have to get it filled in next time I get a tattoo. I think my tattoo is so cute and I love it so much. I just wanted y'all to know my embarrassing experience with my tattoo. But this, I can't remember the name of the shop, but I highly do recommend them because their minimum was $60, which is not bad at all for a tattoo. And that was $60. Like they only charged me $60 for this. So, and I love it. Like that's a lot of ink used too. So if you don't know that, like when they fill tattoos in, like that's a lot of ink. Like I said, when I get my next tattoo, I'm gonna have to get that filled because that bothers me a lot. I'll go over it with a Sharpie every day, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, that was my embarrassing tattoo experience. This is a very short video, but you know, give it a thumbs up. Like this video if you want another embarrassing story, because I have a lot of embarrassing stories. I know my last video was 2 embarrassing stories from my childhood, but like I have a lot of embarrassing stories from my whole 20 years living on this planet. So just like this video if you want more. That's it. Follow me on Instagram at VictoriaAnthonyMUA and subscribe to my channel. By the way, once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I will be doing a very fun video. I already have the person that is doing this video with me. She already agreed to it, and I'm very, very excited. So stay tuned for that. Just get me to 1,000 subscribers and you'll see. Thank you.